everybody. We are back today. Let me get my stuff. Day 27 of Mass Make March 2023. Make sure I'm in frame here. Okay. This little challenge is hosted by Cindy at Studio Lou. Hopefully you guys by now are following her. Hopefully you're tired of me saying that and you're like, okay, fine, Shell, I'll follow her. No, but seriously, she's great. Very inspiring. Lots of information. Highly recommend. So, today is laminated cards. And let me just say, I don't have a laminate machine, but I do have some clear packing tape. And you can laminate things with clear packing tape. So, I thought I would play around with, I'm going to gather these are pretty much like bookmarks. I'm just going to go ahead and say that's pretty much what they are. But these are laminated with some clear packing tape. And this background is, I have a whole stack of National Geographics that I played around with the Citrusol. If you guys haven't checked that out, I highly recommend you check that out. You can YouTube, Google Citrusol, National Geographic, see what happens. Anyways, I highly recommend it to play around with it. But I've got a whole stack of these that I haven't played around with yet. So I thought I would kind of create some little bookmarks. And bookmarks can easily be tucked in journals. Since it's laminated on both sides, it really doesn't lend itself to being like a journal card because it's slick. But it does lend itself to being a cool little embellishment in your journal. That's for sure. So I thought I'd play around with my National Geographic pages and some Tim Holtz people and some snippets and just kind of see what we could come up with. This is one that I made just kind of playing around to see if it would even work. And it does. So that's what we're going to do. Because I don't have a laminate machine and I'm not going to go buy one. And my intention was to pick up some, you can buy laminating sheets that are essentially big sheets of clear packing tape. My intention was to pick up some of those between, before now, but I did not do that. So the trick with using the Tim Holtz guys on this is that we have to have somebody that doesn't, so the tape is 2 inches wide, about 2 inches wide. So, and you want to have room around the edges of it. So you got to kind of find somebody that fits. She's so cute. She fits totally. And I'm thrown off by the people who are leaning on stuff. I was thrown off by them the other day, but like she won't work because her dress goes way over the 2 inches. So it's possible that we may just have little kids. He will work. But these ladies with the big dresses won't work. She will work. He would work. He would work. She will work. She has a big dress on, but it's not a floofy dress. I'm going to say he would probably work, but since his hands flatter out, maybe not. She could probably work. Okay, that gives us a few to work with. A few to get started with. Hey, there's one more, just handy. Yeah. I think we'll work with these guys. Yeah, I think, like I said, they'll make a neat little addition to a journal. They're really not, I mean, I was going to say they're really not functional, but they're functional as a bookmark, so they're functional. So there you go. I have my word box, I have my snippet box, and so we'll just see what happens. I want these pages that have both sides pretty cool. Like some of them just have writing on the back side. I don't really want that. I want both sides of the weird imagery. So these pages were my first time ever playing with the Citrusol, and I was very impatient. And so I didn't let them sit and marinate very long. So they're not really as cool as they could be, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. They're cool, don't get me wrong. They turned out really cool. But they could have marinated a little while longer. For sure. Okay, so we want to cut our paper into, where's my, here it is. I'm going to try to, I know I was talking about this the other night. I'm going to try to turn my cutting board a little crooked. Hopefully it doesn't throw you guys off. I'm going to cut these in like 1.5-ish strips. To get us started. That gives us a 1/2 inch to play with. Of course, it's a 1/4 inch on each side, right? Is that right in my mathing? Am I mathing right? I tell you I don't do math very well. But if the tape is 2 inches, and we cut 1.5 inch strip paper to go in it, then that leaves us with a 1/2 inch play, and we put that in the middle. 1/2 divided by 2 is 1/4, so that leaves us a 1/4 of an inch on each side for play. Correct? Maybe? At least that's how I'm braining it, so whether it's correct or not, I don't know. So, like I said, we'll start with this. This is kind of really an experiment, and it's kind of really just playing around because I have a bunch of Tim Holtz dolls or people, and I have all this National Geographic, and I have a good handful of tape, and I don't have a laminating machine, so just kind of trying to be creative, see what we can come up with. I mean, I could quote unquote laminate with my tape some cards, but it would take a bit, I think. Bit of tape, whereas this just takes a strip and you fold it in half. Now I will say this, it is a little clunky because, you know, tape wants to stick to everything, so no laughing as we get into this mess. and I end up with tape everywhere. Just watch closely and learn from my mistakes. That's all I can say. That's all I'm going to say. So, of course, these are magazine pages, so they're really thin and flimsy. But with a little bit of tape, they're, you know, there's a piece of tape on the front and the back, plus a little Tim Holtz guy. They're not as flimsy as they could be. So, let me start with the ladies. Now this is throwing me off because my thing is crooked. That's okay. I do have some of my flowers we can play with. I wonder how these will show up. If they'll show up clear or if they'll show up white. Let's just test it and see. I think they're going to show up white. Yep. Let's just test and see how it looks before we stick everybody down. Yeah, it's going to show up white. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, lady. Put you back up here. So we like you here. I guess I could be, I didn't glue him down the first guy, but I guess I could glue her. Just with a little strip of glue to help hold her in place while I figure out what I'm doing with her. Actually, maybe we can assembly line this. Oh, she's got a... Oh, I just don't know where it went. Let's see here. Maybe we can do 3 men and 3 women. To get us started. Okay. Actually, how many do we have? 3 more. Let's just do it to it. Do her and him. Now we're down to the, oh nope, we got him. Okay, good, perfect. I won't have to use my little kiddos. I can use them, set them aside, and use them for something else. Okay, so let's deal with the flowers. I don't know what all you can see of this. I don't know if you're in frame, but I've got 3 women in white, 2, 3, 4 men, and 1 lady in black dress. So 8 people that we're working with right now. So we'll see what we can do to add to them. For the women, I'm thinking more along the flowers. And I don't know for the men. don't know. Let's just see. You know what I just thought of? I could set this flowers. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. Play with my sticker book. Maybe that might be some fun. I'm so undecided about this book. I don't know. I've seen a lot of you guys have it. The stickers really aren't that sticky to me. So I struggle with it because they're not that sticky. I tend to have to glue them down. Very cool images for sure, but I tend to have to glue them down. Because they don't like to stick very well. See, they come off. They come off even when I don't want them to. But we have a glue stick, so we will make it happen if we need to. Looking for some quote-unquote manly stickers to go along with these men, so I don't use flowers on them. There's some ladybugs. Those would be interesting now that I think about it. I don't think I glued everybody down. Oh, get yourself together, Shell. He's glued. She's glued. She's glued. She's glued. And he's glued. Okay, everybody's glued down now. Got too much going on here. That's what happens when you work on multiples at once, huh? Everybody's glued down now. Okay. Let's see here. Looking for some interesting stickers, manly-ish stickers, if there is such a thing. Here we go. Interesting stickers here. Put a key. I'll just kind of throw down some stickers. I don't want to throw it down there, but... Ooh. And play around with just some random stuff. I'm thinking too hard about it. Maybe we can tuck this behind somebody. I'm just randomly sticking stuff. I think I'm going to do a feather on her because she's got a feather cap. And maybe a rose behind her head. Let's see here, maybe this here. Okay, what do we need? We need something for this guy. Okay. That's a big cap. Let's see here. The owl's kind of cool. Need something for her. Something fancy for the lady in the dress. Got a little mosquito bug floating around here. I have my windows open. I mean, my doors open this last little bit. And can she have a timepiece? It's normally a man's watch, but and we can do a flower behind her head. Okay, does everybody have a little something, I think? And I'm going to trim. May not need to, actually. Oh, I need to trim this guy because he's coming off the edge pretty good over here. There's that little bug. Okay, that'll get us started. So I'm going to carefully set these guys aside. And here comes the clunky part. I am sure there is a better way to do this. Because, you know, tape, once it sticks, it sticks. And maybe now that I think about it, maybe that's the way to go. These are about 3, 6, 7 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe that's what I need to do is lay them down flat and then cover some. Because the last one I was folding them. Like getting a long piece of tape and folding it over and it was sticking to each other and all that good stuff. But if I just do this, have a little more control. Not a whole lot. I don't know if you can see how I went off the rails with that one, but... And I think it's best that I go ahead and cover it. Otherwise, I'll have all this sticky tape floating around here. And I'm just using my bone folder, kind of going around the edges to seal the tape here. And then we'll trim them down in a minute. Oh, I wonder, now that you think about it, I'm thinking too hard about this. It's start with layering them on the top. Duh. And then come in and cover his back. That makes it a whole lot easier. Flip him over, rub him down with the bone folder. Like I said, I'm just kind of going around the edges to seal. I should have trimmed my bird a little bit there, but it's okay. We'll work with it. Giving him a good little seal. I truly hope you guys are in frame here. Oh yeah, you are. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I shall continue. Bone folder and oh, you know what else I was gonna do? I was gonna add some word snippets. I guess I probably still can. Let's do that because I like using word snippets. I always forget about using word snippets though. Who do we have left? 3 ladies. And 2 men. I'm going to trim him up because he's trying to stick to everybody. Three ladies and 2 men. Let's see what kind of snippets we can add. My snippets are in 2 different places, so let me get them out of my other place. Maybe. I spent all last weekend organizing, cleaning, place for everything in its place. And I'm still not organized. As a crafter or an artist, are they ever organized? Are they ever where they want to be? Functioning how they want to be? So let's just see here. What kind of snippets? I don't think I want to do... Well, maybe I could do black on these. Take risks. Any of them look risky? No. I feel so lucky. We're going to put this on her, even though this is not a 4-leaf clover. I know it's not a 4-leaf clover. But we have everything has beauty. And what we'll do, be authentic with her. Okay, so there's some little words for the ladies. Let's see if we can find some words for the men. Take risks. We'll put that on him because we got dice going on down there. And then with him, we're going to make it happen. Okay, that was simple enough. Uh-oh, we're sticking 2 things. That's the joys of working with tape here. Okay, scoot, scoot, scoot. Scoot, scoot, scoot. Scoot, scoot, scoot. Back to taping. We added just a few little words. And, you know, I hadn't given it much thought, but you You can easily add an eyelet in the top of these and add some, you know, string. I'll probably end up doing that. And make them like a real bookmark. Nothing says you can't do that. Take our little bone folder and give him a little rub down around his edges. And I guess you could stitch around them probably. Tempting, very tempting. Oh, creativity has no limits. I sometimes wonder if it's a curse. But mostly I think it's a blessing. Yep, I got the other side of him. Mostly I think it's a blessing. Although I will say, I think that every single person on this planet has a creative gene. It's just a matter of tapping into that and embracing it and going with it. You know, I'm just going to go with it. That is my saying. And that's kind of the way I feel. You know, I run into so many people who, they admire my art and they're like, oh, I can't draw a stick figure and I'm not creative at all. But I'm a firm believer that everybody has a creative gene. You have to find it. You have to tap into it. You have to embrace it. Nurture it. Feed it. Acknowledge it. This one kind of got a little clunky, but that's okay. We'll make do. I'm a firm believer that everybody can be creative. I don't know that necessarily that it's a skill that can be learned. You know, I don't think you can be taught to be creative. I think it's just something inside you. But even with that said, I think everybody has that something inside them. I think there are art skills that can be taught, but the creativity comes in when you take those skills and go above and beyond what masking or what packing tape is used for. Go above and beyond what a photograph is used for. Go above and beyond what a magazine page is. When you use that creativity, that again, I think everybody has. I think it's a beautiful thing. When I had my art store a couple years ago, that was my main thing with, I had an open studio. If my doors were open, my studio was open. And you were welcome to come in and create. I had plenty of room, plenty of random supplies, plenty of random stuff to create with. And I welcomed anybody to come into that space. And I had a lot of people that would come in, you know, my customers that would come in and just needed an extra eye to look at their stuff. You know, I mean, if you're creating something or if you're working on a project and you're just unsure about it, or I was that to a lot of people. They brought in their works in progress and, you know, wanted my opinion. Not that my opinion was gold or anything, but just having somebody else look at your work sometimes is eye-opening and inspiring in itself. So I always welcomed that at my store. It's one of the things I miss about the store is having that community, that open community for people to come in and create and come in and learn and tap into that creative gene that everybody has. I strongly encouraged it, you know. If we had a workshop going on or a class going on and, you know, advertising for it, and somebody would come in and say, oh, I'd love to take that class, but I can't do that. It's like, that's the point of taking the class. It's to learn how to do it. To tap into that. To see if that's something that, you know, makes your creativity blossom. And I learned that with, like, pottery, like wheel throwing. That is my love. I absolutely love wheel throwing. It's messy and it's challenging and it's fun, and the finished products are usually always so fascinating to me. So I took a pottery class, my first time to get into wheel throwing. It was a little sample class that the local art museum had. And it was a pottery sample class because, you know, their main classes are 6 and 8 weeks long. But this was a sample class. It was 3 classes. The first class we did a little bit of hand building. The second class we got to throw on the wheel. This was my first time to throw on the wheel. And then the third class, we learned about glazes and firing and things like that. And we got to fire the pieces that we hand built and we had thrown. Fabulous little class. And I fell in love with the wheel throwing. So much so that I wanted to take the full 6-week or 8-week class or whatever. But the prerequisite for the 6 or 8, however long week wheel throwing class was that you had to have completed the 6 to 8 week long hand building class. I'm not a fan of hand building. I can do it, but it doesn't bring me the joy that wheel throwing did. And so I begged and begged and begged and begged and begged my teacher to let me bypass the prerequisite to having hand building class and let me just move into the intro to wheel throwing. And because I enjoyed wheel throwing so much and I just took right to it, she allowed me to do that. And I was so in love. So in love with it. So, all that to say, you never know where that creative gene is hiding until you play around and tap into it. Scrapbooking, collage, that's another one of my bigs. I love them. I love to just, which is so funny to me because, you know, if you've watched any of my videos, you know I overthink things. And collage is so out there. You know, some people are like, you don't even have to think in collage, just throw it down. Which is true to some degree, but, you know, as an artist, you see things a little differently. You want to have your values and your balance, and, you know, you want to have an actual art piece, not just a bunch of things thrown down. So it requires a little bit of skill, but learning value and contrast and things like that, those are things you can learn. Once you learn some basics, then the world is your oyster, so they say. So, here is what we have come up with. I keep stepping on this every time I turn my chair to the side. Here's what we come up with. And I think, if I have them handy, I looked today, the other day when I was at the craft store for some eyelets, because I'm out of the normal ones that I normally use. We're going to play with this crocodile thing, and hopefully he will cooperate with me. If you were around the other day, you saw that he was acting up. I'm going to use some of these little guys, I think. And we're going to poke a little hole. I don't even know that we need an eyelet in these, but, you know, just to give him a little bit of something. We'll play with this for a little bit. Then I'll have to go find some smaller string. And I'm just randomly picking. So, we are not making laminated cards. We are making laminated bookmarks. But this gives you a different idea of what to do with if you don't have a laminating machine and you kind of want to laminate something. Here's one way to do it. And again, I mean, I could have made more strips of packing tape and did a bigger laminate per se, but I didn't want to get into all that. I just kind of wanted to play around a little bit, so that's what we did. And then I'll go back and add a little string of something. I'll dig through and see if I have ribbon or string on my little scraps. And we'll add some strings, and you know, I'm kind of thinking, this is kind of crazy, but why not? I have an event coming up. It's the end of April. And you know, I may make some more, and why can't I have a basket of bookmarks there available to sell? Again, be creative. Nothing says I can't. So maybe I will. Okay. That was fun while it lasted. But the party's about over. So this gives you, like I said, some sort of idea. If you don't have access to a laminating machine, or you don't want to go buy the laminating sheets like I was planning to do, then get creative with clear packing tape, shipping tape. You can find it at the dollar store or wherever. Doesn't have to be the fancy thick kind. It can be the real thin kind. And just kind of go with it. I kind of like these. So we made 9 of them. And I think these will be cute tucked into, let's just see if I have, what I have handy. I think these will be cute tucked into junk journals. Let's just see here. This one wasn't a really good example because he sticks up above. But yeah, I think that'll work. I think that will work. Like I said, I'll dig through my scraps and see where they're kind of strings and things like that I have. This one might not work because he's, oh, we did it. As I say, we started fraying our jute here. But we got it. And of course you can always add little beads or, you know, it's endless. Creativity is endless. Just do what you want to do with it. Make it happen. Make it happen. This is a little thicker. I don't know if that's going to work. But yep. If nothing else, I can pass these along in Happy Meal. That'd be cute for that. So, that's what we have for day 26. No, day 27, laminated cards. Now, tomorrow, let me get this out here. Tomorrow is hole reinforcers. And I don't know if you guys will remember way back when. I've been doing Mass Make March for a little while now. I think it was my first video. I told you, you know, because I had to skip a few days at the beginning of the month. And so I moved some things around. Well, tomorrow is one of those days that I moved it around. So I don't do hole reinforcers. Oh, goodness. Well, you see, I just made a mistake. I pulled too tight on that, and I pulled my eyelet out of my card. So we're going to fix this mistake by just trimming, giving him a little silhouette of a around the leaf. If I can cut straight. Okay. So I'm going to finish that up, the strings and all that up, so I can concentrate because I wasn't paying attention. I was talking to you guys and not paying attention. And I busted through my eyelet. Or busted through my card. I didn't bust through the eyelet. It's still in eyelet form. So I'll finish these up in a little bit. But anyway, so tomorrow starts that. Let me see if I got my notes here. Hole reinforcers is on for number 28. But I did not do day 3 pockets. So tomorrow I'm going to do pockets. I did away with hole reinforcers and I'm going to do pockets. That's my plan for tomorrow. And pockets, I'll try not to do my library book pockets. You know, these things. I just love these. I grab them out of every book that I destroy. I'm going to try not to do these as my pockets. Although I did them as my floating pockets. But I love them and I love playing with them. And so I'll just have to see what I can come up with for pockets. So anyways, I'm going to close it up for now. That was day 27. Mass Make March 2023. Hosted by Cindy at Studio Lou. And yeah, so that's a wrap for that. I like these guys. I think they turned out really cute. Even our little mistake, we fixed it. So yeah, I think these are fun. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. And I hope by now you have liked and subscribed and followed and done all that stuff that you're supposed to do on YouTube when you really like somebody. So I hope that you've done that. If not, now's a perfect time. So anyways, I will talk to you guys soon.